Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted.
Spring has sprung in Marbella, and you can really feel how much life is going on in our fabulous city. I'm back today at the exhibition center in Marbella, the Palacio de Congresos, where I'm going to welcome my guests, and I'm delighted that you're going to join us.
Hey, hey.
It's lovely to be back in the Foreigners Department here at the Exhibition Centre. Everyone's busy in their offices, but we're taking advantage to welcome our guests here, and I'm delighted to meet my first guest. His name is Pablo Molina, and I know his dad, and it's ever so curious to know that Pedro Molina, the artist, who I've had the honour of privilege of interviewing a few times, and having his artwork on one of our love mugs that we started a campaign to try and raise money for mental health awareness. And now sitting next to me, thanks to CIT Marbella, is his baby boy, who's got a great business going on. I'm really looking forward to knowing more about it. Lovely to meet you, Pablo.
Really nice to meet you, Nicole.
Does everybody, I mean, Marbella is a pueblo, it's a small town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I suppose, did you grow up here? Are you from...
Yeah. I was born in Malaga because, well, there was no hospital yet here in Marbella. But since I was a baby, I grew up here.
So now making your own identity as Pablo Molina, because everyone must know you as Pedro's boy.
Yeah.
And having such a great reputation, being such a renowned artist, teacher.
Yeah. Singer. Everything.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting together with my brother Álvaro. We are starting our business in Ricardo Soriano. And well.
What part is Ricardo Soriano? You on this end by the exhibition center or right up the other end?
We are in the other part. We are next to really near to Alameda.
Okay.
And really we are near to the Televisión studios.
Oh, so you're near our RTV Marbella studios.
Yeah.
Good parking, easy parking around there.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's really a really good point, no, for our business. We are in the number 12 of Ricardo Soriano.
So you're right by our studios. You're very, very close.
Yeah, really
very
close.
Exciting.
Really
and I
close.
love what you do, and I love the name Sana Mar. It sounds like healthy ocean, and it's a health center, but more. I'm not really big on the word holistic center, but it's definitely very natural, using nature basically to heal, and I love that philosophy.
Yeah, we work with holistic techniques. Well, especially myself, I work with sound therapy, with singing bowls, Tibetan singing bowls, also with gongs, flute, and also with my voice. I also sing. No? I do the throat singing, the diphonic singing is called, like Tibetan monks. And yeah.
How did you get into all this Oriental medicine?
Well, since I was 15, 16, I am a musician since I was 13, no? But always I liked this Asian music. But more specifically, 4 years ago, I started a course, you know, with my master, Christine, and I learned more specifically, more deeply, the benefits of the singing bowls and the sounds and everything. And yeah, I could mix my passion, no, for music and my passion for healing and for therapies and everything. No?
For helping people.
For helping people, yeah.
I actually once, years ago, in the NH Hotel, they used to do every year a health wellness event. And Jacinta used to organize it, Jacinta Hanna. And there, a woman did like singing therapy. I'd never heard of it before. And I have to say, I could feel it. I could
Yeah.
feel that my body was changing by this woman singing over me. And that was a big wake up to something that we know. I like studying vibrations. I study frequency for work with light. But it's a fascinating world that many of us are
Yeah.
ignorant to completely.
Yeah. It's a marvelous world. It's amazing, no? These experiences with frequencies. Well, the people who came, no, to my sessions. Every single person has their specific experience, personal, individual experience. Some people, for example, feel mind relaxation. Another person can feel emotional relax. I don't know, and each session is different. No?
How do you know what treatment or what sound vibration therapy to apply to each person?
I usually work by intuition. I trust my instruments because, for example, gong, totally it has its own personality because each time the sounds are different for me and for people, no? So I play and I start, well, I put my best intention, no, of healing, of good energy, good vibration to myself and for the people who came. And I let the instrument do their job.
And what kind of sensations is someone expected to feel? So if someone's like, what would they experience? Or why would they go to you? What kind of things would be going on to say, I'm going to go see Pablo?
Most people who comes, they come because they are looking for relax, because they are stressed or they feel anxiety, and they look for relaxation mentally, no? Relax in mind, relax emotions. But some people also, they look for concentration, they look for some focus on their jobs, for example. And also some people come because they are looking for energize. So these instruments can give you relax and also energy. So they give what people need.
We are all vibration, and having the different instruments that you call them to raise vibration, to slow us down, basically it's to change the body clock, to make us like in harmony. There is scientific basis to this. A lot of people think it's all like mumbo jumbo, but there really is. I mean, everything we are is energy, and yet this is purely based on in harnessing the natural energies around us, no?
Yeah. Actually, there has been, or they are investigating these frequencies, these sounds, and every single cell has a vibration. Then these sounds, the gong and the singing bowls, they vibrate in a specific frequency. So every single cell, like, they adapt to this vibration, and for that reason, you can feel all your body vibrating during a session. Maybe in half an hour. My sessions, they last 1 hour and 15 minutes, more or less. but you can feel this. You can feel this vibration, these sensations in the first 20-30 minutes.
Is there any negative side to it?
People with with heart disease, something like that, it's not recommended. Yeah, because for example with pacemaker,
A pacemaker.
pacemaker. Sorry, yeah, pacemaker. This vibration can affect this pacemaker. So we always ask people, no, if they have these heart problems or something. But that's it. Also with people who has herida.
Scars.
Yes, scars, but recently.
Oh, okay.
Recently
Recently operated.
surgery. Yeah. Sorry, but that's it. The rest of people can feel the benefits of sound. Yeah.
Wonderful. So you do with your brother. How did he get involved? Through you, or were you both of that mind?
Together, and also because of my mom. My mom. Well, since I remember, she has always been interested in this type of holistic therapies and energies and everything. But well, my brother does works with other therapies, with other techniques, with magnets, bioquantic magnets. But I cannot talk deeply in this because
We'll have to get Alvaro on the program.
Yeah.
That was his name, right?
Yeah. And well, yeah, we start together. Yeah.
I think it's fabulous, and it's a great combination of treatments. I have tried biomagnetism with the magnets, and excuse me, very impressed.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Also, people who came to his therapies, they go really happy, really relaxed, really I don't know. The biomagnetism is also amazing.
Wonderful. Well, we'll have to pop by to your centre and hear you playing your gongs and your bowls. I'm sure that would be.
Yeah.
We can all get the benefit.
Yeah, it would be a pleasure for me. It's a pleasure to share my techniques with people, and also if people can benefit, can feel this relaxation, this relax. For me, I'm very glad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
I actually get to meet Pedro Molina's son. You won't always be Pedro Molina's son.
Yeah, I know.
One day you will be existing in your own right.
For
Pablo
me,
and Alvaro.
Yeah, it's an honor for me, so I'm very glad of that.
Yes, he's a very special person.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be talking about some of his artwork later on in the program. Thank you, Pablo.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Hi guys, Ross here from Hoganstown. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody. Nobody tries drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
You've been out of shape and you feel like you've missed it. You dropped out the
Zero Hero.
Welcome to Vigo Banús. Zero Hero, welcome to Belmari.
hey, it's a brand new.
I'm delighted to welcome back to the programme Martina Spahn, a dear friend and the coordinator of the German schools in Spain and Portugal. And last week, firstly, Hello, how lovely to see you, Martina. Welcome back to Marbella Now. Lovely to have you with us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me again.
Well, it came in just logically. Last week I was interviewing a lovely young man who's from a family business, and he told me he went to the German school. And the minute he said that, I was like, oh, Martina, we need to catch up, because I know you've been on different trips and representations of the schools. You've done a trade fair. You've got all kinds of things going on. And I thought it would be nice to have a little catch up, because a lot of people go to your German schools.
Yeah. Yes, well, actually, not here in Marbella, in the German school of Malaga, because we call it after the province, and also the first German school in Malaga was in Rincón de la Victoria, El Palo, so it was in Malaga Center, and so we are still called the German School of Malaga. We have 50% of Spanish children and 50% of German children, but overall Spain, it's more like 90% Spanish children, and also in Portugal.
Curious. I mean, I would think my first choice, if I was a foreigner or a Spanish person, having schools sending to an international school, I think maybe the English schools, but to see this preference for the German schools, I actually find it kind of interesting. How is your system different? What is the curriculum like for a German student? Because I know that you're very knowledgeable, but what's like the difference, the speciality of the German education?
Well, it is very much find your own solution. It's not a very frontal system where the teacher tells you and you just write it down. Although the English system isn't either. It's also not very frontal, but it's more towards sports or arts, which the German system is not. It is very science-based, although our children come out with 4 languages. And
4 languages?
Yes. And also our English level is pretty good. If a child decides, like after 10th grade, which is very late because it's right before the last 2 years, the bachillerato, to go to an English school, and we had cases, nobody lost a year. They could go straight into an English school and the English was good enough.
So it's very high level?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And traditionally, a lot of Spanish families appreciated that system. And
it's completely opposite to the Spanish system. 100%. The Spanish system is very much, here's the information, learn it, and give me that, specifically that. So it's very different.
And in the German system, it's here is a problem, bring me a solution. You have 45 minutes, that's the lesson, and just come up with your ideas. And but I must say, it's not only in Portugal and Spain. Lots of high politicians around the world were pupils of a German school. If you take Mexico, whatever country you take, you will find mostly somebody in the government that has been going to a German school. Also, it's amongst the highest ranking schools in the international ranking.
Obviously for a reason. Good reason. I don't see much promotion of the German schools. Again, you see a lot of other schools advertising. I don't see the German schools advertising, but you have a very, very big attendance. So it's obviously this innateness of German education. I find it curious.
Yeah, well, I mean, also we are the second biggest system of schools abroad that are subsidized by their own governments. The German government subsidizes the German schools abroad, which is 135 schools around the world. Only the French have more schools. I'm not saying schools, international schools of one country. Of course, there are more English schools, but not those which are subsidized by the government. Only the French have a bigger number. I think they have 400 schools internationally. And we have a fixed proportion to the amount of or size of the schools sent by Germany in teachers, which guarantees we have the same finals as in Germany. So they go into any university around the world with the German finals. With the German Abitur, you can join any university in the world. It's accepted. Of course, a lot of universities, like here in Spain, they do their own entry tests, but that's a different thing. But you do not have to do any convalidation. The German finals allow you to enter any university in the world.
It's really very important. Actually mentioning that, the British ambassador said that they, at the back end of last year, had organised finally to make it that the English education and the Spanish can be interchangeable, which is very important also if you finish your A-levels and you want to go to university and you studied here. So having these abilities to be able to change, particularly in an area like Marbella where it's so international, is fundamental.
But we have the convalidation since 2008. I know it that exactly because my own children were the first year that did not have to write the selectividad. They got the selectividad, having the German Abitur. They
High
got
five.
Yes.
Yes, that makes a big difference.
Yes, absolutely. And as I'm saying, we have the teachers sent by Germany. Of course, not all of them. It's a small proportion in comparison to the whole amount of teachers that we have in a school. And it was very interesting because the biggest education fair in Europe is in Cologne. And well, actually it switches between Cologne and Stuttgart, and this year it was in Cologne. And since we have the Confederation of the German Schools in Portugal and Spain, we have an own confederation since 1.5 years ago. And it's the first time we had a stand at that education fair.
Your own confederation.
Yes.
Congratulations, that is exciting.
It was awesome. And having all these young teachers coming to the stand, wanting to go abroad, wanting to know about the process, which is not easy, because as Germany is a confederation of different states, of 16 states, the teachers are sent by the states, but we are under the foreign ministry, which of course is federal. So you always have the federal and the states. And it's quite something. We are off to Berlin also, where all the different committees are meeting, and the government officials and our school authorities, foreign ministry that organize it. And that will be mid-May, because of course budget-wise we had cuts, like everywhere almost, right?
So obviously these moments it seems very well organised, not surprisingly, by the German government, but to have this facility for kids or anyone international to learn the German system, be of the German way. And when you all meet together, do you see, in spite of having the German teachers, there must be some differences in studying in a German school in Munich than studying in the German school in Malaga?
Of course. I mean, whoever is abroad has already a different mentality. So whether you have a German family living abroad or a Spanish family or Portuguese family deciding to send their children to an international system, of course you have to have an open mind, otherwise you would not be there. I just want to say one thing: we are private schools, we are fully private. So, because it may have sounded as if we were public schools from Germany, we are fully private. We are all a little different, but have the same school system. Besides two schools, Sevilla and San Sebastian, they do the national system. With
the Spanish system.
They do the Spanish system and the Spanish finals, but of course they have a strong side of German too, a lot of subjects in German. I mean, they speak German without an accent when they come out of the schools as well.
But it's nice that you have those different options, and there's. But I find it quite fascinating. You yourself are very international. It's hard sometimes to think you're German because you're so cosmopolitan. You've been so many places. You've been here, but you travel back to Germany a lot.
Yes, I've
one
just
of the
come
most
back,
travellers
actually.
I see of my
Really?
circle. You're the one who travels the most, always going back home, seeing the family. It's lovely.
Yeah, I've just come back on Sunday night.
And always away, you lucky girl. So you're off in May for the Confederation.
Yes.
And if someone would like to look at the German schools as an option, what would be the process? When can you start mid-year? Do you have to start? Do you do an entry exam? What's the format for joining the German school?
Well, of course, as I'm saying, we are actually autonomous. So every school decides how their process is. But basically, you call, you make an appointment, you visit the school, and then it's up to the school whether they do an entry exam or not. But that would basically be the process.
So really, it's like any other private school. If they've got room, and if you if you fit in, then the options are there. Wonderful.
Yes, yes.
Your
Well,
kids-
and the schools are very old. Actually, we have another event in May, which is the German School of Lisbon will turn 175 years. It's the third
Malaga
oldest,
just had a huge
125, yes. And Lisbon is the third oldest school, German school in the world, after Copenhagen and Stockholm.
175
175
years
years.
of international education abroad for Germans.
Yes. Stockholm is 140 or 50 years old. No, Copenhagen is 450, sorry, 450 or 440 years old. And Stockholm, I was at the anniversary, is 410 years old. They started in the Cathedral of Stockholm that many years ago with a small room and yeah.
Fascinating history. Will you be going to Portugal for the celebrations?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. She likes to travel anyway, so like try to keep you away from it.
Actually, I will also travel to Berlin with the president of the School of Lisbon because she is our vice president to the Confederation. Our president is the president of the school in Madrid, and the vice president is the president to the school in Lisbon, because the Confederation is of the school boards.
And what do you do in the sense, as I suppose there's a lot of coordinating to keep some kind of semblance of similarity between it, but as the Confederation, I mean, is it a very busy job, or is it more like coordinating or ambassador?
Yes, basically it's the latter. It's basically an ambassador. It's basically the link with Germany, with the school authorities, with the politicians, the government committee that's responsible for us, where our money comes from. That's the most important part. I do the PR as well. I do an Instagram, I do a LinkedIn, and I even do a podcast. So it's exciting, and we also promote the schools because, as you said, a lot of people don't know that we exist. So we decided also to promote us a little better.
Why not?
And to give us more visibility.
Exactly, because I said I don't really see advertising for the German school.
Yeah.
I know through you that they're there, but probably if it wasn't for you or Count Rudy and Princess Mary Louise, well, I did kind of know, but never really taking into consideration that non-German people would think of going to a German school. So there you
Yeah.
go. A good system, very strong on languages.
Yes.
And
Yes, I must say both of my children are alumni of the school here in Malaga, and we were very happy with that.
wonderful. Martina, lovely to see you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Guten
for having
Tag,
me.
Dankeschön.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Tschüss. That's it. Apart from Kartoffeln and ein Glas Wein, rot bitter. No?
Yeah, so yeah,
That's about it. Trade fair German. 'Cause I used to go to Cologne as well for
you
trade
can
fairs. So
you can order your food.
I can order my food and I can ask for mustard, but that's it. Thank you so much, Martina.
Thank you so much too.
Hey, hey.
Hero, welcome to Sunday.
Hello customers and welcome to Restaurant Alameda in Oval Urban Hotel in Marbella.
Hi, I'm Monica.
Hi, I'm Paula.
We are sisters and we are here to talk to you because we are the founders of Family Support Group. This is a company that began many years ago when our mom died. It was something horrible for us because nobody can help us. And in this moment, we decided that no one who faces a terrible illness can be in the same process like us.
So that was the reason that we created Family Support Group. And we bring you the doctors, caregivers, and nurses to your own house for help you.
Our mom wanted to be at home, and we had problems with the healthcare system in Spain, because you must talk with a lot of doctors, you must try to investigate many things and many information, and we were absolutely alone.
We can bring you all the medical service to your house.
We want to be your family support group.
No one needs to pass away in a hospital or in a hospice. You can be in your own house with your family and with all the dignity and treatment that you need for your family. Call us. We are here for you.
Zero Hero, welcome to the Sister Restaurant.
Earlier at the beginning of the program, I mentioned talking to Pablo that we would be talking about his father later on in the show, and that is the case now because Pedro Molina, artist, is taking part in an exhibition coming up, which we all need to go and see because it's going to be fabulous. And the lovely Sophia is joining us today to talk about it. Sophia, how lovely to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
You are one of the artists in this Cabra group that's putting on this exhibition, correct?
Yes, I am.
And what is your style of art? What's your passion for art?
Well, I mostly do a lot of styles. I don't set myself only one thing. I like to do many styles. I like to explore many options because to me, I don't want to limit myself. I want to explore many things and see what fits best for me.
You're still very young, but I imagine you've been artistic. This is your way. It's like you feel art within yourself. You're an artistic expression. Did you know you always wanted to be a painter, or have you explored other avenues yourself?
Since I was a small child, I was always doing some kind of art. When I was a little kid, I used to do, well, I didn't have enough money to buy toys. My parents didn't have enough money to buy toys, so I made it myself. I made my own toys with just cardboard, plastic, and paper. Basic stuff for a kid, but I like to do my own things. And I was always, I was always drawing, I was always painting, so it was a lifetime of art.
Wonderful. It's nice to see that you've made your own entertainment and you're now turning it hopefully into a very successful living.
Yes.
So I'm very excited for you. Where are you from originally, Sofia?
From Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Very nice. I've been there and it's a very lovely city.
Yes.
And what brought you over to Marbella? I mean, I know many Argentinians come here, but are you living here now?
Yes, I've been living here since 2008. I was like 10 years old when I came here.
With your family then?
Yes.
And are you loving the change? Do you get to go back to Argentina ever, or is it very much now everything in Spain?
We are very comfortable here. We feel safety when we go out on the street. We feel safe. We have many opportunities of doing whatever we want, economically and socially. And we like it here, and we're going to stay here. Maybe we can come back to Argentina to visit family and friends, but
this is home.
This is our house. This is our home. Yes.
Wonderful. Pedro Molino, I think, started the CAFRA group back in maybe 2019. I remember him creating a group. How did you find out about Pedro's group of artists?
Well, it was just a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I think. I don't remember quite well, but 2 years ago, maybe. I was on the. I can't remember the place. Paseo del Mar. Yes,
okay.
I was on Paseo del Mar. There was an exhibit, and I was like working with a friend there, and I saw Pedro's exhibit, Pedro's place, and I just went
attracted.
There. Yes.
Yes. I mean, I can see it's lovely to have an association like a group like that.
Yes.
So tell us about the event that's coming up now that we all want to come and visit. Tell us where it is and who's painting. What are the artists involved?
Well, there are many artists involved. I can't remember all of them. Maybe there are 12 of them. It's about challenging the definition of art, especially conceptual art. Some people think it's a joke or a scam, and some people take it serious. They work as conceptual artists, and we are challenging that definition. There are some voices that agree with that kind of style, and others that don't agree with it. And there are many opinions put on the exhibit.
So you have a lot of different styles going to be at the exhibit. And where is it going to be?
In Cortijo, Miraflores.
Oh, lovely. That's a fabulous place to have an event.
Yes, it's a go-to place where we can do the exhibits. It's our favorite place to do it.
And this is happening when? What's the dates of the exhibition?
On 27th of this month, of April, to 26th of May.
Wonderful. So we will have time to go to the Cortijo Miraflores to go and see your artwork, Pedro Molino's artwork. And I know Dana Novak is also part of the artists that is going to be presenting their works, which is very exciting because we have a very large art scene actually in Marbella, lots of art galleries. Yes. How do you feel as an artist in Marbella? How is your world? Because it's not a little world, it's quite an established world.
Well, I'm actually very new on this movement. I'm telling you, I started 2 years ago when I met Pedro on the exhibit, and he invited me to his group, and now I'm part of them. But to me, everything is new. I just started
and exciting.
2 years ago. Yes, I want to do more. I'm very excited. Yes.
Where do you see yourself from now in 5 years' time? What would you like to be doing in 5 years' time, and who would you like to be doing your art for?
Well, there are many things I would like to do, but I especially want my own place to produce my art like a study, to produce my art, to do collaborations with other artists and help other artists to grow, especially young people, and maybe have my own exhibits around the world.
Why not?
Yes.
Exactly, why not? Dream big.
Yes.
Because if you dream it, it can happen. It's just, it will materialize. Well, I'm very much looking forward to the event from the 27th of April to the 26th of May.
Yes.
Cortijo de Miraflores in Marbella, and go along and see the exhibit of these fabulous artists. We're very privileged to have such great artists in our midst, and it's nice to support each other and visit. I will definitely go along with the camera as well. because it's going to be fun and I wouldn't want to miss
We're
it.
waiting for you.
I will definitely be there. Sophia, thank you so much for taking your time to come and let us know about your event, and congratulations.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here.
The first of many, I hope.
I hope, yes.
Hey, hey.
Zero Heroes, welcome to Urban Chai.
Zero Heroes, welcome to Gusto y Fantasía.
It's a program of familiar faces. A big welcome back to Lily van Tongeren, our animal specialist, the person who loves dogs more than anyone else on the planet.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
lovely
thanks.
to see you. In fact, I should have mentioned before with Martina, it's probably a woman who loves cats more than anyone else on the planet. So it's lovely to have animal lovers. I think it's a good sign
It's very
of people
important.
who like animals.
Yeah.
I've got Boy back, giving him another chance to see if he'll sit still while we're here talking about animals. You have recently launched a new association for rescuing our dogs in Marbella. I love the name, AIMS, because you always have aims, big aims, Animals in Marbella Sanctuary. And from what our last interview, specialising in the older dogs, the puppies, because you found when you've been volunteering over the past years that these seem to be the most vulnerable, the ones that kind of get like, it's the puppies because they're put in bags and dumped, and the old ones because they're just dumped.
Yes. Yeah, well, we're not specifically only, but that is a target. Eventually we'd like to have an old age home for older dogs, because we've noticed a lot lately that a lot of the older dogs that have lived for 12, 13 years in a home with somebody who's also become very old, they pass away or they have to be admitted to a home or a residency, and most of them will not allow them to take their animals with them. So then the animals, if the family do not want to take care of them and the owner has not, prepared for this situation, the dogs end up in a shelter, and that is the most traumatic experience for any dog.
For everyone.
For any dog, but specifically for older dogs who are totally lost, are totally traumatized, and we really try to kind of avoid that as much as possible. Puppies, of course, always, specifically now, it's puppy time, so puppies come up everywhere, and they need special care, of course, because very often they're taken away by the mother much too early, and then they need bottles, they need feeding, they need vaccinations, they need the whole process of trying to become a strong young dog to be adopted. And that is what we would take care of. But we also take care of dogs that really need special care, because we've seen also that a lot of dogs that have either been living outside in the campo or have been maltreated or have had some kind of experience that sometimes we don't even know, that they come to in a shelter and they will be lovingly taken in and put in a cage. But many of them will need special attention to be able to get out of the traumatic situation they're in. And in the bigger shelters, we noticed that, of course, there is not always the time or the personnel or the volunteers or the know-how to deal with those animals that need that extra attention to be able to prepare them for adoption, because that's ultimately what we want for every dog in any shelter, is that they get a second chance to a good life. And very often the ones that need that special care stay behind, stay there for many years, because they're not as socialized as they could be. So that's what we're looking into as well, all the dogs that need that special attention. So we're trying to be very personalized to the dogs and the animals that come to us.
You've basically been doing yourself from home ever since I met you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you you've had dogs that can't walk, and then you've had wheels on them, and then you take them to therapy. I mean, it's a process, but you do this process, and you do it with many dogs. So I suppose you've just taken, instead of your home, you've extended that service you were giving from home, because you're always fostering puppies and these dogs that were like literally on their last legs, and some of them with only 3 legs. Or
also, yes, I've gone through my home. Has come a lot of dogs, a lot of puppies, with a lot of bottles. Some older dogs that have stayed with us in the house for the last few years. Some of them came to me for the last few weeks, so that at least they didn't have to die in the shelter. They'd come to my home. They've been loved, taken care of, be with my own dogs, who are always very loving. And then the veterinarian would put him to sleep when it's really the end, so that it's not done in a shelter. I always stayed with them. We always loved them, no matter if they came to us for a few weeks or a few years, because they all deserve it. And all the puppies that have come, we've prepared them for adoption. They've gone for adoption. And of course, sometimes you've got some failed fosters and they stay behind, and you keep them, because like Pasha, who was totally paralyzed, who needed half a year before she could kind of set her first steps again, and needed physiotherapy every day, etc., etc. And then, of course, you get so attached that you say, well, okay, we'll adopt you and you can stay with us. And she's still with us, and she's a very happy dog, and she gives me a lot of fun. I think she's such a wonderful fighter, and it's so nice to see when you get results in those dogs that they come out of whatever state they're in, when they have a chance, to give them that chance to live a good life afterwards.
Your dedication is like, it's abounding. It's amazing. You're obviously very passionate about everything that you do, and I'm sure the new association is going to be very, very successful, and you're going to be very, very exhausted.
I am already at this point.
As I can see, you're just beginning.
Yeah.
And so this association with Elise, and it's a nice combination of the two of you with your different abilities. I think it makes you complement each other very well.
Yeah, it's the old board from AAA that left, and the 4 of us, the president Elise, vice president myself, Tracy Dugan as the treasurer, and Debbie as a secretary. So we're a strong team. We were a strong team for the last few years, and we continue this now, and therefore focus to we have now the chance to focus on more individual, more quality, more time individually for the animals that really need it. No competition with any other shelters, of course, because they're extremely important. There can never be enough care.
There can never be enough. There can never be. People have said this before with Alana and Estepona. It's not a question of competing. We need so many shelters. And there's so many animals that just need help.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, we are working now until we have our own property, which we are looking at very closely at this point. We are working now to support other shelters. We have now dogs that are in other shelters, but we're supporting them. They're being sponsored, so that we're putting them on the website. We have them on the Instagram, etc., etc. Those dogs that are in other shelters that also need extra attention, extra support, extra fostering. Or
are there people out there who want to do that? Are there other Lilies out there?
Yeah, we have quite a lot of dogs on our website, and most of them at this point are being sponsored since yesterday. So yeah, I'm amazed at the support that we're getting from a lot of people that really see that we're trying to do something different, and that are really trying to support us to start building up our aims and our dreams.
Fabulous. You mentioned before about a new law that's just come out?
Yeah, as of September last year, there is new animal laws. Not all parts of them have been signed yet because of the not sitting government, but there are quite a lot of new laws which are very promising. First of all, the most important one that I think is that pets are now being thought of and have to be thought of as members of the family. So not objects or things that they have to use or used for either protecting the home or whatever, but are being part of the family and need to be treated that way. So there's different things that you cannot put them on a lead outside for too long. You cannot leave them on an unsupervised balcony or in a place too long. You cannot leave them at home longer than 3 days and even 24 hours for dogs. There are not any more stores that can sell pets.
Oh, really?
Yes, the stores are not allowed to sell pets. They are at this point allowed to get rid of the ones that they have. I think they have 6 months to get rid of the pets that they have.
Because I still see pets in stores this other day.
Officially, it's not allowed to have pets in stores anymore, or sell them on Facebook, or sell them on media, or anything like that. They are only allowed to be bought from officially registered breeders or from officially registered sanctuaries or shelters. And that is where you can get your animals now.
It makes sense. I mean, your big thing has always been don't shop, adopt.
Yes.
And it does make sense.
Yes.
Or going, even Nando was mentioning the other day about going, if you're going to buy a dog, go to a breeder that specializes in one breed, that wants a healthy breed to continue. And therefore, you're going to have a lot less problems with the dog as well, because all these strange people just out to make money, and in the end, it affects the health of the animal.
Yes, there are still, unfortunately, what we call the bred breeders. And even though they have, like, these are being bred illegally a lot, and some of the situations are just so horrible. The little mothers only are there to produce, and they're exhausted. We've had several that come to the shelter that were just totally lived out. You know, they were lived
Ruth
out.
has one of those. She adopted her little doggy exactly for that reason. Such a young dog, and already had 4 litters. It was just
only for money.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such an important law, that because we went once to a breeder who was being emptied out by the police, and they called us, and we rescued few dogs from them. That was the first time I really saw the horrible conditions that those animals are in. And they were connected with a store not too far from here, and that store was luckily closed as well. And so that law that no more selling through stores, because you do not know where they come from, very often they're in not a good health situation. I've had stories from people who bought dogs for €1,000, €2,000, and within several weeks or months the dog was sick, could not be helped, had problems, etc., etc. So only go to officially registered breeders, and even then make sure you look at the whole situation, make sure you meet the mother, make sure you know who the father is, make sure what the whole story about the breeder is. And other than that, I would say please go to shelters. There is 200,000 to 300,000 animals abandoned in Spain per year.
Wow.
And most of them will end up in shelters. 1/3 of them will be put down. That also is changed in the law. You're not allowed to put down any pet unless it is authorized by a veterinarian. So you cannot go to a veterinarian and say, I cannot take care of my dog any longer because I think he's too old, it costs too much money, I cannot afford it, please put it down. Which happened a lot.
A lot, yes.
Lot.
I've known people do
Yes.
that.
So now people cannot have their dogs or any pet put down until it is certified by a veterinarian. And then it has to be only for, the right health or not health reasons. So yeah, there's quite a lot of changing, but it takes time. It really takes time.
Are the Podencos included in any of these changes of laws?
No, unfortunately not. The bulls are still allowed to be burnt or stuck to death or whatever they do to the bullfights and the different cultural festivals they have with animals, like throwing donkeys from a rock, having the horns of a bull put in fire and have them run for hours around with their head on fire, Pamplona, bullfights. It is getting less, as you know, the bullfights, but it's still allowed. They are not yet protected under the law. The Calgos and the Podencos, which are the hunting dogs that are generally the ones that are misused and abused the most, are not under this law as well. It was proposed But then there was a lot of opposition from the countryside, from the hunters, from a lot of hunters and older people that think, you know, hunting is wonderful.
So have they got a purpose? They can abuse them and leave them out, and because the worst thing is, I don't know if people know this, and I don't know if it still goes on, but up until at least 15 years ago, I definitely know that when they finish the hunting season, they take these dogs and they basically string them up by their, I don't know what to say it, but they string them on their necks because they don't need them anymore and they want to get rid of them.
Yeah, they had the calgos, and after the hunt, they would have a festival and they would torture the dogs, singing, drinking, torture the dogs. They would hang the calgos, and it hurts like hell. I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, let's change the subject.
They were playing the piano with their toes on the floor.
That law needs to be changed.
It needs to be changed.
So it just needs
Luckily,
addressing.
it is not as bad as it was anymore. Luckily, quite a lot of hunters are realizing that it's not the way to live. And they will bring now, some of them will bring their dogs that they cannot use anymore or do not want to use anymore. They will bring them to a shelter. But that's only, at this point, a very, very small percentage.
But the mentality, undeniable, I've lived in Spain for over 40 years, the mentality towards dogs has improved tremendously.
Yeah.
Tremendously over the last years.
Absolutely.
Very much now, I see lots of Spanish families embracing their animal as a pet, and it's very much part of the family. So there's a very big change.
Over the last many years, a lot have changed in that. You know, as you know, 40 years ago, you would see cats everywhere, on every terrace, you would see that. A lot of dogs, you know, being hit by cars on the side of the road. All that has changed in these areas, the coastal areas, a tremendous amount, because of all the shelters that have opened up, mainly because of a lot of the foreigners who brought in their ideas. And lately, the last few years, the Spanish are also, of course, realizing that it is a very different situation, that a dog has feelings and emotions and not just an item to use.
I suppose everything is education. It takes, a lot of things we don't realise. I mean, it's only when my granddaughter talks to me about veganism and you hear a 5-year-old who says, "Do you enjoy eating dead animals, Nana?" Yeah. I mean, do you know, we see it in a different point of view, and I think that's how we learn.
And that's what education is all about. And of course, you know, cultures don't change within a short period of time, and a mentality, no matter how big the world is, it still takes time to change a mind, to change the culture, to change the ideas. So that's another thing that we do. We work together with schools, very closely at this point with the English International College. They are supporting our puppies.
Wonderful.
All the children have done fundraising, and therefore the 9 puppies that we had, they've been able to be vaccinated, they get passports, are being adopted, and they will support also the puppy house that we will have. So, and we go there with the puppies, we talk about, you know, educating the children on animals, care for animals, and why, how, and when.
I think it makes us all better people if we learn to live with an animal, look after an animal, and have that empathy for another creature.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a great thing to do.
Not everybody needs to be a dog lover. Not everybody needs to have a cat or a dog or anything like that. But what they do need is to realize that they're there. That most of them did not ask to be there. Most of them did not ask to be treated badly. And luckily there's a lot of people who will take care of them. And all I'm asking always is like, if you cannot afford a dog, or you don't want a dog, or you don't really love a dog, but have respect for the people who do, and if you can support them, because, I mean, they are depending on all of us.
Well, you're doing a great job. Thank you ever so much. Really fascinating listening to you talk. I can listen to Lily talk for hours. I do, in fact, listen to Lily talk for hours about her dogs, but it's nice that you've got your aims up and running. Congratulations to the 4 of you, and best of luck.
Thank you.
And just keep coming back and keeping us informed of how we can help you as you grow.
I certainly will.
Even Boy was sitting quietly listening to you. He's been all over the place this morning, but even he was like, "Tell me more, Lily, tell me more."
He's a lucky dog.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. I feel so international with my German friend, my Dutch friend, and my Pomeranian. Our international community is wonderful. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can watch recordings of the program from the rtvmarbella.tv website. You can go to their YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Nicole King Marbella, and also my website, nicoleking.es, with links to the programme, to my Marbella Moments column in the Euro Weekly News, and our Zero Hero website, with an ever-increasing list of participating venues who are rewarding the designated drivers with soft drinks. So if you're a designated driver, why pay if you don't have to? Choose one of those fabulous venues that are now summarised in Zero Heroes, which is a good food guide as well. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and join us again next week for more of what's going on in Marbella right now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You feel it's gonna go your way.